There we go. We got it.
I do have. Are we recording right now?
Yeah, we're recording right now.
Right, so I had to do one thing since you clowned on me so hard last week. I had to put on my clown costume for this one. So I don't know if you guys can see this.
Yeah, we can see that. Nice,
Costume.
dude. Nice. I'm glad that we dressed the part. Last week I dressed in my most famous or nice attire of the black Adidas sweat or t-shirt, and today I'm in my work ABU top. So that's what's up.
Nice. All right.
So Antonio Brown is a psychopath. I'm not sure if you
Here.
saw all the tweets recently, by the way. Uh, he's like coming out at fans who dressed up as him in a clown suit for Halloween, and he's like violently, not violently, but Twitter violently attacking them right now.
Yeah. Well, he totally deserves it. He's a clown.
He's a joke at this point. It's crazy, man, how far he's fallen from people talking about, him almost being in the same conversation as Jerry Rice you know,
To nothing.
to yeah, unemployed. Yeah,
So let's talk about why you clowned on me last week. Let's
sure.
go through the trade.
All right.
So
I'll even pull
all
up the
right.
Facebook post real quick. Oh wait, no, it wasn't. It
So
was. It was just a video. Go ahead.
all right. So first off, this is my first year in the league. I did not realize that we were a two QB league. So after I drafted, I felt really good having Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
And when I realized we are a two QB league, I was like, shit, I got to trade somebody for a QB. So that's where I made my trade for Dalvin Cook, who I was like, oh, he's just going to get hurt throughout the season
Yeah.
for Chris Carson and Carson Wentz. And at the beginning of the year, I had the high score, but then obviously Dalvin Cook's just been a monster.
Unbelievable.
Uh,
Yeah. Really good.
and then when it came to our Christian McCaffrey Zeke trade, um,
I thought it
me
was
and Jay,
flat. I thought it was a sideways trade at the time.
I did too. And I honestly thought I got the better end because I didn't know how Kyle Allen was going to be going into the offense. I thought they were going to take a huge hit with Cam Newton being out, but obviously Christian McCaffrey has just he's the MVP. He has my vote over Russell Wilson or Deshaun Watson or Lamar
Yeah.
Jackson right now. He is the MVP. Without him on that team, you guys would be
Yeah.
screwed.
Pretty bad. So actually, now that I think about it, and I brought it up in the Facebook chat, whenever I made that trade, I didn't think about the Miami matchup, but I did tell you that I think that Ezekiel Elliott is not going to catch the amount of balls that he's going to need to be the like number one running back. And so far, it seems like I've been right. Like he's getting
You,
tons and tons of rushing yards, but like he's just not catching the ball enough.
yeah. And so after I had Zeke for a while, I realized he wasn't getting used in the same realm that he was last year. So that's when I made the trade for
Dumped him.
uh, Kelsey, Julio, and Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, and now you've traded Kelsey away.
Yeah, now I trade Kelsey because I got Hunter Henry and he's been awesome.
Yeah.
Uh, trade Kelsey and Josh Jacobs, who's also been awesome for Dalvin Cook and Jared Goff. It's Wentz's bye week, and he's got New England next week. So I needed to figure out something to do for a quarterback, and then I was fine taking the hit off of Josh Jacobs to get Dalvin Cook. So
Um. Yeah.
I'm fine with. I'm really happy with me and
You got
me and.
Dalvin back, so I mean,
But it does hurt both of us because J Dub has Kelsey, who has a bye week, week 12, and then I have Hunter Henry and Dalvin Cook, who both have a bye week, week 12. So,
I mean, the bye week stuff, like it's a thing. I tend to not even like look at it or care about it at all. If I have to take an L, then I take an L. I don't know if you can see my screen still. I'm actually thinking about it right now. There is a long line of Ezekiel Elliott trades. Ezekiel Elliott has only ever been drafted once, his rookie year, and we have fucking traded that guy in this league so many times. So actually, the first year we did the league, I drafted Le'Veon Bell. This is like what 20 when everyone was here, so like 2016ish, and it has to be around that time frame. And AJ drafted Ezekiel Elliott. AJ AJ traded Ezekiel Elliott to me like the second year because he was suspended, and I got him for cheap. And then like it came all the way back. AJ had Ezekiel Elliott again, and then I think I got him again, and then I traded him to OM, or I traded for I don't fucking know how OM got him, but OM had him. I traded Tyreek Hill for Ezekiel Elliott. He's been moved so much. Like I will say I'm proud of this league for being able to just let go of like great players like
Well,
easily.
one thing I've noticed with 8 players at least, I don't know how it was with you guys for 10, but
And 12.
with 8 players, yeah, I guess you guys had 12 at one time. With 8 players, those big names aren't as valuable as they would be in a 10 or 12 man league.
Yeah.
Um, it's a lot different. But yeah, I'm happy that everyone can move on from big names. I was able to move on from Devontae Adams pretty easily because I realized he wasn't going to be back anytime soon. So I'll take a few points from Gurley.
Yeah.
Devontae Adams has not been good this year.
He's been pretty rough in in that he's either injured or Aaron Rodgers just didn't look like Aaron Rodgers until recently. And I don't know how long that trend is going to continue, but I mean, he's airing it out now, but the I know you watched or listened to the fantasy footballers. They were talking about like Devontae Adams came back, he got tons of targets, and guess what? Green Bay got fucking smacked. Like
Might be better
same
without
issue as last time.
they might be better without a big name wide receiver on their team.
Could
Well, at
be.
least maybe Devontae Adams isn't that guy. I know Jimmy Graham was for a long time. Not Jimmy Graham, Jordy Nelson.
Yeah.
But
Um,
I don't know. All right, should we get to
yeah, let's get to it because I also thought about something and wanted to. Can you see my screen by the way? Do you want to just reference this or are you going to reference your own?
I can see your screen pretty well.
Okay. Let me move this out of the way. Yep. Um, does it really not go sideways? Nope. Yeah, so this is the matchup from last week. We're going to start off with Turn Your Head and Goff, which is Johnny, and Madden Cursed, box score. I'm retarded. Uh, which is RR, I think, right? Because, yeah, Patty Mahomes.
Yeah.
And, yeah, this hurts, man. Right here and right here. I don't know what he was thinking. Well, I know what he's
Oof.
thinking with Damian Williams, but I don't know what he's thinking with James White here.
James White has been so consistent every week.
Yeah.
Um,
Mark
I,
Walton. He has Mark Walton starting over James White.
that's probably where it was at, man. And also I think most I don't know. It's a toss up. Pete could have done really well had Cooper Cup not been on bye week. That really sucks. And then Patrick Mahomes was out. There was just a lot of things that didn't work
Yeah.
for him. But I mean, Pete's going to be a force to be reckoned with. He's got four top 10 QBs. He's Zeke obviously now, and Cooper Cup, who's been a target hog. Um, yeah, he's even with a bye week, he's position ranked number 5. That's
Yeah.
insane. But I I'm pretty scared of Pete going on, but
Pete's a
for me,
spoiler at this point. Do you think he's playoff bound?
I don't know, man. I don't know. It depends on what his matchups are.
We can look at that. I was talking to some guys at work, and it's terrible for him. Like, he straight up is getting highest scoring loser every single time, like almost second place every single time. So I'm playing Pete, you're playing Pete, Greg is playing Pete, AJ's playing Pete, and AJ takes it to Pete every single time, and then Shane's playing Pete. Like that's a rough schedule. Like he could actually go 1-4 during this time frame.
Yeah, that's super rough, man. Um, at least he has Greg for one of the matches, but uh, And I think AJ is going to get a lot of talent back after everyone gets back from buys and off injuries. If Le'Veon Bell's injured, I don't even know if he's going to be playing this week. But
It doesn't seem good.
I don't.
You want to keep on it though? Keep hitting this fucking matchup real quick. We could just keep staying. Oh
Uh,
man.
but for real, J Dub is probably the scariest guy in the league for me.
Yeah.
He he is just loaded down. I'm really happy that he doesn't have Dalvin Cook anymore. But Josh Jacobs' schedule coming up is super scary. It's not going to pull up on them because it's
Yeah,
last
you're
week's
right.
match.
Yeah, no, I was thinking about it.
You
Who do
know,
we have any other?
disappointing. He's got Josh Jacobs, who's has I think he's got the Jets coming up and Cincinnati. I don't know. I'd have to look at the schedule, but I looked at it today and it was just so nice. Yep,
So
Cincinnati, Jets. He's gonna get played a bunch against Kansas City, and then
that's a tough
from
defense right here. It's a tough
that is.
playoff matchup.
But that isn't. If J Dub is trying to get into the playoffs, that's
Yeah.
he's gonna be set right there. And Kelsey is obviously gonna be way better with Mahomes back.
Yeah. Yeah, I was trying to figure out what I could do to trade to you today because I'm also worried about the quarterback position. Well, not trade to you, but get another quarterback. And I was looking at Kelsey as well because I don't know how I feel about Mark Andrews anymore. Any surprising starts
What
here?
about his MVP? I thought he was MVP.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. I can't say anything to you guys, huh? Oh, look at you now. You look terrible up there.
I
Uh,
can't.
okay. So, um, any surprising starts here, I guess? Let's see. Or any surprising not starts?
I didn't realize that last week. Michael Thomas is on by too, so it would have been a wash between Michael Thomas and Cooper Cup. I still would have gave the advantage to J Dub and
Yeah.
T.Y. Hilton's obviously out right now.
Yeah.
James Conner's hurt. He's just so loaded down with depth that he can still put up that many points and feel good about it. Also, he has Chris Godwin, who's the number 3 wide receiver, only behind Michael Thomas and Mike Evans.
Oh. How weird is that? Huh.
It's a close matchup, and it's weird to me because how is Jameis Winston so bad with such good targets?
Because he's not bad. Well, he's not bad fantasy wise. Like he's an awful, awful NFL quarterback, but he is a terrible quarterback. And I'm sure that he's on a team. I don't even want to see. I would guess
He's
that Jameis
on
Winston's
SM's
around
team.
number 5 quarterback right now.
He's on SM's team right now.
And the other thing too about our league, and seeing as you didn't know as a two quarterback, you probably don't know this. I took away some of the turnover um, like point loss. I think it's just minus 1 point for a turnover.
But
So
isn't that insane? He has the two
yeesh,
of the top.
13.
That's insane to me. He should be a top 5 guy if he has Godwin and Mike Evans, but he's so far behind everybody else.
Yeah, I mean he had a
Now,
bye already, and he played San Francisco, and I mean San Fran's the real fucking deal. So
I mean, Kyler Murray's already played San Francisco too and got rocked, but
oh
he's still
yeah,
in it. I don't
true.
know. Anyway, so I think you might win out on that bet, but it's all about game script for those guys. Who's going to be the better player that week?
Yeah, it's really gonna depend on Mike Evans like catching the ball, 'cause dude just doesn't try. Um, so Keenan Allen started really hot this year, like, but it's been slow since then. How you feeling about
It's
that? Is he done?
it's been yeah, I think so. Ever since Melvin Gordon came back, his value has just tanked. I
Yeah.
think if Jada would have sold him after week 3, he would have got a top 5 running back to some desperate needy team with a good running back.
Well, me and Jada were close to making a couple deals. Keenan Allen for, I think we were gonna do DeAndre, but kind of glad I didn't make that trade at this point. And
Yeah.
it doesn't get any better for him either. He's got a couple tough passing matchups. You know, Minnesota, Jacksonville, and Denver are all pretty equipped to deal with number one wide receivers.
Yeah, it's been brutal for him. It's gonna be nice for J Dub to have Michael Thomas back. It's one of those situations like with OBJ. I wouldn't play OBJ right now in our 8-man league, and just off of name recognition, and that's where Keenan Allen's getting to.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's hit another matchup. What are you trying to hit up? Some of
Let's go
these.
Elon fanboy.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
So I
go that
actually
one.
thought Greg was gonna take this at some point.
I
Um,
did too.
but Royce Freeman did nothing.
Well, who did he have on? Oh, it's because David Johnson was hurt last week.
Yep.
That's it. Oh, he could have played Duke.
Yeah. Could you imagine if he would have played Duke and Carlos Hyde and just
um, but I don't know, man. I feel bad for Greg. Hit that team. It's just not working out for him. Golden Tate has been fine, but Philip Rivers and Baker Mayfield have been disappointing to say the least,
Baker
especially Baker.
Mayfield has been oof. Like to
Jones
me,
Jr. has had a couple great games and a couple duds.
yeah. Well, I mean, he just picked up these two guys too, so I mean, it's just been rough. Like Brandon Cooks has been almost a zero all year. OJ Howard has been a zero all year. Robert Woods, I think, is also like concussion protocol. David Johnson's been super injured. Baker Mayfield's been a zero. Like he Greg is the Messiah. He has taken one for the for the team, dude. But
Also, Alshon Jeffrey is just not great, even though he's the top target for
oof.
Carson Wentz. He's number 38. It's just sad, man. I feel bad for Greg. But he should be better once David Johnson's back, once Devonta Freeman's back. Saints D is pretty stout, and OJ and Waller is my, probably an MVP candidate for me right now.
Would you keep
He is.
Waller next year for 21? If we
I
and I think we should bump up the Manning in the league, but for 21, would you keep him?
I would keep him.
Yeah.
The tight ends are worthless. Darren Waller is definitely a keeper for me in my eye.
Yeah. OJ Howard's got to go though. Yeah, like I don't know
OJ
if OJ Howard's getting
such a
drafted next
fucking
year.
bust. I just can't. And obviously, people were saying that with the Arians offense that he was not gonna like he wasn't gonna do great. But I didn't think it was gonna be as bad as it is.
Yeah. I mean, we had proof from like Ricky Seals Jones and some other guys that used to play out there in Arizona, and it's just they would have like a two touchdown game, and then they'd go 6 games without any points at all.
No. The only thing that OJ has corner is that he has a couple nice matchups coming up, but it's still not worth it to play him over Waller. Waller doesn't have. I think yeah, Arizona, Atlanta, yeah, and then Atlanta week 17. But
Detroit.
sorry, Greg, you're gonna be. I don't think you're gonna be work using OJ Howard in week 17.
Well, we don't play in week 17 either.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hawkinson, maybe a little bit of life, maybe not. Maybe he's actually a dud.
Rub, I wasted so much fab on him just to do nothing after his first game.
Oh man. But I mean, like, look, you know, he's kept himself at rank 15 with 1 game.
He had one game against Kansas City with another 11-point game, but that's it.
Yeah.
I watched him. I think against Green Bay or Minnesota, one of the two. He had so many dropped passes in the end zone.
Yeah. So the
Or
typical
just
Detroit tight
garbage.
end.
Yeah,
Did you see the Noah Fant catch and run?
I did. I did. I was making fun of one of my buddies because he was playing Noah. I was like, he might as well call him Noah Can't because he's just awful. And then
Yeah.
he 75 yards.
Yeah, and then he looked like Demarius Thomas over the middle of the field. Like, I don't think that safety tried to tackle him. I think that safety was like, I'm gonna make it look like I tried, but I'm not tackling this motherfucker because he bounced off of him so quickly. Uh,
Do you think AJ makes it to the playoffs with that team right there?
You know what's crazy, man, is Pete's power ranking and playoff projector is I don't think it projected him to have this many wins. So obviously he's doing better than the amount of wins that the thing had, but it's rough, man. Let's see this see the schedule for AJ for rest of the season because I mean it's got to be rough, right? Like
I don't know. Juju's been horrible. Melvin Gordon had his first good game last week. Tariq Cohen's been droppable almost.
yeah,
Uh,
let's see. Yeah, like you said, Juju is. I mean, I actually think that I've sat Juju in my other league at this point. So he's got you, which I mean, you're trying to make moves to get in still. He's got me. He's got Johnny, and then he's got Pete. Which I mean, Pete will hate it if this is a playoff matchup right here. Yeah, Pete might leave the league. Like, because what could happen if Pete wins 2 games, he gets to 5. If AJ loses 2 games out of these 3, he gets to the same record as Pete, and then it's literally him and Pete are fighting for a playoff position in week 13. So that actually is, I don't know. This is a tough lineup to go through. Me, you, and Johnny. Of course, I don't know where you are on the points at 4. Let's take a look. 1302. So I mean, you're in the top half, but me and Johnny are miles ahead.
just killing us.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, I don't know. It's going to be tough going for AJ and coming up. But I think right now our matchup for week 10, I got, I think my projection is 155, 158, somewhere in there. And AJ's is like 138. So hopefully I can pull off a W against him. It
yeah.
really depends on Le'Veon Bell's back and how he's doing. He's been pretty disappointing this season. I thought he was gonna I thought he was gonna do great, especially this latter half of the season with having such a cush schedule.
Yeah, I mean, like usage wise, he's killing it. But like, I think a lot of people used to say that he spent a lot of time behind the line of scrimmage, going back and forth, finding that hole, being patient. And then with the Jets offense, you're not going to have that, what you had with the Steelers.
Definitely not. And it was crazy to me after the trade deadline for the NFL, hearing that the Steelers were actually interested in Le'Veon Bell coming back.
It's so silly, man.
It is silly, and that Antonio Brown liked to tweet saying that he should go back to the Steelers too. Obviously, I think AB would just take any job right now that they could throw at him.
Yeah, I think AB just didn't realize that. What's the whole saying? You don't know what you got till it's gone thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty bad for him right now, obviously.
All right, me and SM.
Yeah, yeah, you and his name his SN. I give him Shane, dude.
Yeah, his initials at McConnell were SM.
Okay. All right.
So I should not have won this matchup. I shouldn't. My team looked horrible sitting next to SM's team, but all his dudes had bad weeks.
Yeah.
Who would
So,
have thought Aaron Rodgers would have had 12.9 points after having what, a 6 touchdown game?
yeah, it was something, dude. Let's take a look. What did he have last week? Because I know that Aaron Jones had a crazy game recently too.
No,
3 touchdown game. This might just be passing. No,
yeah,
it's not. Three
it's the one.
touchdown, 5 touchdown. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought because he played the later game, and
Mhm.
most of my guys were done playing already. So I was like, oh, Aaron Rodgers and Nick Chubb and Aaron Jones are going to come through and Devontae Adams are going to come through and just wreck me, and none of that happened.
You know what? Now that you bring it up, I didn't even realize his team success is pretty hinged upon Green Bay winning.
It's totally dependent on them winning because he's not going to sit Adams, Jones, or Rodgers,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't either. But if they have a shitty game like against the Chargers, he's going to feel it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I guess you could find out right now if Shane's gonna make the playoffs because we could just look at the Green Bay schedule, right? So
Oh, they got a bye week 11. That sucks.
yeah, so that's a loss there. They got San Francisco, they have Carolina. I mean, these are dubs for them, but Chicago is still a decent defense. Chicago and Minnesota in the playoffs. Shane's got it
That is,
rough, and San Fran right here. Shane's got it rough.
yeah. Uh, and honestly, if he would have beat me, he would have been a shoe in for the playoffs. But now he's sitting at 5-4, just like AJ, and he can suck it.
Yeah. Where did you guys all work together at one point, or?
Yeah, he used to work at McConnell and control with me and J Dub. Terrible controller, by the way, awful. Um, but then he cross trained over to
Yeah.
Intel
Yeah,
for 6 years.
super nerd.
Super nerd.
Yeah.
Um, who does he got? Are you? Did you pull up a schedule coming up?
Yeah, yeah, this is his upcoming schedule.
All right. So he's got OM, and then he's got you and J Dub in a row. It's gonna be rough, and he has J Dub week 11 whenever Green Bay's on bye.
Oh yeah, it's a loss. It's a loss. Like,
It's done, man.
yeah,
That's
don't even like pick up any players in that week. It just call it what it is. Like, it's a loss.
hey, your wife's behind you, I think.
Yeah, I know. She just got back from the GM.
All
It's
right.
like a fantasy ball recap stuff.
Yeah, SM needs to pack it up. I think with that loss to me, and then that schedule coming up of his,
Yeah, and
he's
this is Pete off of a revenge game too. So he's gonna be like coming home like a someone who just got fired from work, dude. Fucking just gonna come home and beat his kids, man.
all right. And then for me, I still had a really low scoring week. I think I only scored 135, so not a great week for me.
So
Uh,
you would have lost to like everyone except for Shane, pretty much.
Shane, Greg, and AJ. That's
Yeah.
all I could have beat this week. But a W is a W.
Yeah, you're right about that. Jalen
And I had
Samuels, man, like what's that? 11 catches? That doesn't hurt.
well, I've been super lucky with my pickups. So I've had Jalen Samuels last week, and then I had Latavius Murray the two for that.
Yeah. Goodness. My computer's all slow because I'm sharing you all this video with you. So Kenny G is another player that's like really good. I mean, like you have some pretty good players. I tried getting Kenny G off you earlier this year. I forget what I offered for it. I don't think it was fair. Uh-oh. Still there? Oh, I got you now.
Oh, what happened right there?
I think my internet was slow.
All
Because I'm
right. So what I'm saying
sharing
is,
video.
so I think Kenny Galladay is the truth. He's gonna be my keeper next year. That dude is a stud. And with with what's his name, that Carry Johnson going down,
Yeah,
he I think that team just told Matthew Stafford just air it out every game and see how far you can throw it.
yeah.
But I had to sit Julio because he was on bye. Travis Kelsey had Matt Moore thrown to him again, so I sat him, and it was basically a wash between him and Hunter Henry. And then Todd Gurley had a bye too.
Yeah, but Ty Gurley's been a waste anyways.
He is. He's going to rarely hit my lineup if
That's
he does it
crazy,
all.
man.
And then Chris Carson had to play Tampa Bay, who has a stout running defense.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yes, I think they're a top four running defense for this week.
Damn. Uh,
So, Kevin Coleman was pretty upsetting to watch him play and only get what did he get? 5.6 points against Arizona.
so I was talking about this the other day to some of my Carolina Panther fans. Tevin Coleman has buoyed his entire career on playing Carolina. I don't know. Like I'm gonna have to look it up, dude. Look, you know what? I'm gonna look it up with us. I am pretty sure that Tevin Coleman's splits um, are all great games against Carolina only. He does almost nothing for the entire year, and then once he plays Carolina, because he has absolutely destroyed us in multiple years. Let's see. Let's go when he was healthy.
And he's played you guys twice
Yeah,
every season when he's at Atlanta.
yeah. And let's see. Just this. No, no, no. Oh no, I just want to see the game splits, dude. Come on. Oh, it's because I hit 2018 season. Fuck. I'll look it up later and I'll just link the stats, but I'm pretty sure that Tevin Coleman has his entire like season, his entire career has been buoyed on absolutely decimate. Because okay, so here's one. Last year, Carolina had the number one rushing defense. Tevin Coleman came in and ran 200 yards on us and a couple touchdowns.
No shit.
No shit. Yeah. He he destroys us every year. And then go figure, he's like a backup running back or one of four running backs in San Francisco. He plays Carolina and guess what? He's
Destroys you guys.
yeah. I mean that's what it is. So I mean, I think that you have a guy that you can only play against Carolina. So
That's the truth. I mean, he's been pretty consistent since he's been back. 15, 14 points. Then he had the 37-point game, and then two duds. So it's really just going to be game dependent on who he's playing that week. He's not going to get a whole lot of starts depending on how AJ Green does, who has buys.
dude, AJ Green's done. Don't even act. His
He's not playing this week. Everyone was super excited, and then it came out that he's still sore.
I said this whenever me and Johnny did the recap. Yeah, I think he is done. Like
Never play again.
there's, dude, it's been what 5 years in a row of the same foot injuries. I don't think he plays for Cincinnati again for sure.
Oh, definitely not, especially after the quarterback change.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
if they're letting Dalton go, yeah. Sorry, AJ.
But now he's too valuable if he does come back to drop after I've held on to him for 10 weeks.
Dude, you're pot committed. I don't know, man.
All
Uh, who did I
right,
just
let's go
drop?
to you. Can you give me a breakdown of your huge fucking week? Because that 39.2 points, 37.6 points, 41.7 points, 36.7 points. You had three guys go for 35 points or better.
Yeah.
Four guys.
Let me show you something. I don't know if you've seen this. I used to be keeping up with this a little bit more than I have recently, but we have like a lot of stuff in here to include the Hall of Fame. All right. Have
Yeah.
you have you seen this yet?
Yeah, whenever we did the draft, I looked at it.
Okay. Let's see. High score, low score. Let's see where I'm at. So I broke my high score record here. 221. This was the next best score. 247. Like that's how ridiculous that score is.
It's just insane.
Yeah.
I think. Do you have a second defense?
No, 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 no. I only have Carolina. Like, I only ever run one defense.
So it really would have been had you maybe switched out Mark Andrews, you would have got or really it man, you had the best team out there that you could have possibly put out there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Other than you could have sat Gardner Minshew for Rita and got an extra like 4 points, but that's just insane to me. You just destroyed everybody.
So
And
yeah, I was looking at it before we started talking. I have Russell Wilson, who could be the MVP of the league, and Christian McCaffrey, who could be the MVP of the league. And I also have Tyler Lockett, DeAndre Hopkins, and Mike Evans at this point. Like, and I mean they scored for me obviously, but those three guys are like what top five or top six wide receivers, and then I have two MVP candidates. Like, Johnny has a good team, but I didn't even play Alvin Kamara this week.
whew, yeah. And God forbid, but every year Dalvin Cook's been hurt. And you're just waiting in the shadows with Alexander
Yeah,
Mattinson's
yeah, man. And he's been good, like in limited action. He's been pretty good this year. And like even though he gets more than limited action too. Like we're looking at 13 carry game, 14 carry game. I think these are blowouts, but even still,
Yeah, that's all garbage time, but every time he's been on the field, he looks good.
yeah.
Uh, and then Pete, or not Pete,
It's OM. It's OM. So I thought OM was gonna beat me. I said it in the chat. OM's gonna beat me. And then Russell Wilson played, and it was like, nah, never mind, never mind.
well, 49ers defense, that 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 just was pretty disappointing to say
Yeah,
the least,
because this is what they
especially
are.
Arizona.
So look, man. I mean, I said it early on in the year as well. I want quarterbacks that can run, beat up defenses in fantasy, and go figure. You know,
Yep.
if I go and check out because he started Kyler Murray and he started the 49ers defense. Let's see what Kyler Murray did. 23 points, dude.
So he had it out either way. One of them was going to do good.
Yeah.
Um, but he had an Arizona linebacker too. Anyway, uh, yeah, it was pretty disappointing for the 49ers D. Them and the Patriots D just got fucking smashed. He could have played the Cowboys D. Yeah. But his team, let's look at it. Dak Prescott's been unusually good. And so is Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper is and forget now. And in redraft leagues, he's gonna be close to a high two, if not a first round draft pick,
Oof.
depending on who who comes back next season.
Yeah.
Um, Saquon is obviously a stud. David Montgomery is finally starting to touch the ball a little bit. I had him in another league at the start of the season, and I wanted to fucking kill Matt Nagy. I hate
Yeah.
him. He
Yeah.
was
Me and
just.
my wife have him in another league, and it's frustrating.
It is, especially that week where he had like they only ran the ball 7 times in
Yeah.
one game.
Yeah.
But you did a hell of a job, man. You did a hell of a job. I think you and J Dub are set for the playoffs now. We got to get through the last two players between me, SM, AJ, and Pete.
I want to open this up just to clown everybody,
Oh,
but I don't want to ruin what my pick is. Uh,
um,
you guys got silly. I don't know what you were thinking. First of all, Eliminator never play in the division, and also never play the Jets, dude. Come on now.
um, I really thought about playing the 49ers,
Yeah.
but the same situation. Don't play within division. And I didn't trust it, and I don't trust Jimmy Garoppolo. That's why I traded for a fucking QB this week. Um, but it's you and SM for Eliminator right now, isn't it? That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. When it's next person to lose loses. So
So there's $175 in the pocket, whoever
yeah.
wins that. But there's going to be a lot on the line for 4 teams this week because you and J Dub have the bottom 2 teams, I think, and everyone else in playoff contention plays each other.
Makes sense.
So
Yeah, and I think Pete has somebody on bye. I made a few pickups myself actually to carry over. Um, I don't know.
you made a couple pickups.
Yeah, let's see what the recent activity was. This was the first week I actually spent some money, man, because I've been kind of just waiting, doing my thing. But yeah, so Devontae Parker with Preston Williams going out, and Devontae's already been pretty okay, um, like as a spot. I mean, look at this. This is consistency. This is what DJ Moore is doing, and this is on not a lot of catches. Maybe it's more touchdown dependent than I want to admit, but it's not bad. Let's see. I got someone else here too. Yeah, I spent a ton just because I've had to deal with not having a running back for too long. Well, I mean, I have Christian, but you know, outside of that.
Do you believe in Rojo? Do you believe in him?
No,
I do
no.
not in the slightest.
But here's what I do believe in: against Arizona, against Atlanta, and against Detroit. So I mean,
He's gonna slide into those flex spots
yeah.
all day, every day for those.
I've already started to look ahead, man. I've already started to look at the playoff schedules for some of my players. I've noticed a few things that I'm like, all right, all right, all right. I have some good matchups coming up. Um, what is
And
this?
you got any move going? Do you got a trade in there ready to go?
No, no, it's another pickup I got. Yeah, I'm not gonna pull that up. I don't want anyone to see. So, hey, so you know what? While we're here on my team, did you think Gardner Minshew was gonna get benched, dude? Cause
I did not. I really thought he was the truth. And Nick Foles has. I know that he's had a couple great postseasons,
yeah,
but Gardner Minshew looked like the face of the Jaguars. It's what that team just seemed rejuvenated. Him coming in, I
yeah.
feel like they're gonna sit Nick Foles in a week or two. They might have paid him all that money, but it'd be in their best interest to fucking send him back to the Eagles.
Let's see. He comes in and it's week. Wait, no, he's there on bye, so he has to go against a tough Indy team, a tough Tennessee team, and then if Gardner Minshew comes back in week 13 against Tampa Bay, that'd be great. This is actually why I picked up Nick Foles right here. I don't know if you saw this bit. Tampa Bay,
Hmm.
Los Angeles, Oakland, Atlanta. I will take that matchup.
Yeah, I would imagine Gardner Minshew gets the job back after those two losses that they're gonna take because I just don't think he's that great. I'm surprised when they spent all that money for him,
Yeah, it was a
and
lot.
they would be doing their team an injustice keeping him after Gardner has done so well.
Yeah.
And he's created so much media buzz. Why would they go back to Big Dick Nick after Mustache Madness, man?
Yeah.
I don't get it. I just don't get it. But I'm sure they don't want to pay him all that money just to be a backup quarterback again.
So I mean, obviously they don't have to pay Gardner right now. I think you might be talking about Nick Foles. But like Gardner has to go somewhere else. Like
He has to.
you can't because you can't trade Nick Foles and you've already paid him guaranteed money, and Gardner is obviously a starter in the league, and there's teams that want him, or there's teams that need starters. So
All right. A couple things with your team though that I got to hit on. Do you think Cam Newton's going to be a Panther come next season?
no, if you can see already, I've already dropped him.
So, where are your top three spots for him to land?
So a lot of people say Chicago. I mean, that's a real place that he could go. You know where he would be pretty good, by the way? The
Where
Raiders. The Raiders.
I think Derek Carr's been fine this year,
Yeah, he's
but
been
I can
fine, but
just to give them that edge.
yeah, yeah.
Um, I think he could go to Denver. I think he would be. That's where quarterbacks go to die, but I think he would do fine there. I mean,
Do you think
obviously
do
they.
you think he would go to Denver?
I don't know. They Sutton looks good. I don't know.
The history of Cam Newton and the Denver Broncos?
Um, I don't know. There's a there's a lot of places. Also, the other thing I was going to hit on your team before we go, Terry McLaurin took a huge hit with Dwayne Haskins coming in.
Yeah, he's never gonna see the my starting spots.
And sure that you were getting trade after trade for him, or at least talks about it.
Just from you.
Well, I mean, he's a special talent, and I'm
Yeah, he's good.
surprised more people didn't cheer you up because he was so consistent for so many weeks.
A lot of it was touchdown based early on, and a lot of it was uh, so look touchdowns here, two touchdowns here. I mean, outside of that, he's been the best player on a shitty team, and it's like, ah, you know, but he doesn't have a great schedule going forward. I mean, the Jets is gonna be okay, but Giants can be okay, but Green Bay, Carolina, Philadelphia, and I don't know about Detroit. He would actually match up against Darius Slay on Detroit, wouldn't he? So
Yep.
yeah, it's gonna be rough, man.
Um, last question for you: Are you just gonna bite the bullet on Carry On Johnson all season, even though he wasn't even that good. It's about time to move on, man. Got better keepers.
Yeah, no, no,
Carry
man,
on with pointing, to say the least.
quite. And I had him last year, and I kept him this year, and it was definitely something. But I've come to the point where I'm not even thinking about keepers anymore. I'm trying to win the league, like I said in my last shit talking video, and
Yeah.
I need some different. I need some more depth, and I don't need Cam Newton on IR. I don't need carry on IR, and yeah, I couldn't hold
Yeah.
on to Gardner Minshew hoping that he'd come back. Like I need players that I can put in because I'm not gonna be starting DJ Moore and Christian Kirk for the rest of the season. That's for damn sure.
Also, how dumb was SM for dropping Joe Mixon midway through the season?
No,
Obviously, he has had a great season, but come on.
I'm 100% with him, dude. I'm 100% with him. See, here's what he did. He dropped a roster bomb, dude. I've done this before. Players that aren't going to do good, but everyone is going to pick up. You drop them, and then you just fill up their. It's like dropping a landmine on someone else's team. Like they either have to start this player, and you know that he's going to be shitty, or they have to, put him on their bench, and then they don't have as much depth. I love it. I picked him up just because I had shittier players, honestly.
I've never thought about that before.
Really.
Maybe SM's playing 4D chess while I'm only playing 2D.
Yeah, man.
I
It's
don't.
a way to fuck up other people.
Yeah, because when I saw that he was dropped, I was like, Jesus Christ, everyone's gonna be clamoring for the name at least.
Yeah. I mean, I dropped
Uh,
Cam Newton, dude, for the like. I'm tired of him on my team, dude. I'm tired of him taking up that bench spot. I had three less bench spots than everyone else this year. It sucked.
yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna go, man. It was a good recap. I'm gonna let you get back to Warcraft logs. I see it up there.
Yeah,
Uh,
man.
analysis. Um, all right. I'll talk to you later.
Later, bud. Thanks for doing it.
All right. Later.
See ya.